In previous lesson, we've learned how to create form input controller to be a reusable component and use it in different places. That was our component. But we didn't handle its validation. We've handled only the values and how to change its value and so, but we didn't handle the validation. For example, we want to create a validation for this email and username and this password. Okay. We're gonna learn that in this lesson. If you see here, we're gonna use those two wonderful packages, yup and hook form resolvers. This yup package is a package for validating the inputs. Okay, so now let's install it inside our terminal. Let's add yarn add yup, and let's install the other package called hook form / resolvers. Let's copy this name and paste it here and press enter to install those two packages. If you are using Android, your job is done, but if you are using iOS, you need to install the bot after installing those two packages. So just open cd iOS, open the iOS folder and just add bot install and press save to install the bots. After you install the bots, just run your project. Now we have here our project. Let's start coding. As I've mentioned before, if you see here, when you just type any email and press submit, he logs the email without any validation errors. This is not a valid email. We need to add some validations. How to add those validations? Here inside app.tsx, we need to import those two imports. Import asterisk as yup from yup. Okay. Also import yup resolver from hook form resolvers yup. Okay, we need those two imports. Second, we need to create our schemas. So let's create our schema here. Const form schema, for example, equals to yup dot object. Inside this object, you just add your rules. For example, the rule of email I want to mention a very important thing. The name here must be the name here. For example, username, email, and password. So let's make this password with small b. Okay, username and email and password. First, let's add the rules for email. The rules is gonna be yup dot string because this email is a string. Okay, dot email. And let's add a message. For example, let's make it please enter a valid email. Okay, please enter a valid email. Dot, we want to make it required. So let's add email as required. Okay, this is the rule for the email. Let's add the rule for username. You just type username. It's gonna be yup dot also string dot, let's make it required. Let's make it required and let's add a message to tell them it's required. Let's just type username as required. You can add some rules. For example, you can add here the matches to add regular expression. You can add here the max, the min length, and so you can add some rules whatever you want. Okay, let's make it min of 3 characters, and let's just type username must be at least 3 characters. Okay, finally, let's create a validation for password. Let's make it dot string, and let's make it also required, and let's just type password is required. This is a message when this is the message, the error message will appear to user if he didn't enter his password. Okay, and let's make its min of 8 characters, and let's add a message to tell user password must be at least 8 characters. Okay, now we've done with our schema. We're gonna move this schema inside a single folder, but now let me show you the idea. Okay, I don't want to hesitate you. Okay, now inside our hook form here, just add this property resolver. Okay, and inside resolver, just use this resolver. Okay, and inside it, just put our schema. Now let's press save, and let's try to press submit. Look, we didn't have anything. Why we didn't have anything? Because if you log here the errors, log errors, look, we have here 3 errors. Email is required, and we have here another error, password is required, and another error, username is required. But we didn't show those errors here. Why? Because in our form input controller, I commented this line. We need to add this line to handle those errors. Okay, but first let me show you the errors in formatted way. Let's add JSON dot stringify. If you want to stringify an object and make it appear in formatted way, just add JSON to the stringify and add those 2 arguments, null and 3, and press save. Now if you see our errors here, we have email error, username error, password error. Okay, let's go here to our form input controller and uncomment this, and here too. Okay, we need here to add some fragment. We want here to add some fragments because in React you must return 1 thing, not 2 things. Okay, now if you see here, that's the error properties. Let's make this condition. If we have errors and we have errors of property name, this name that we pass here, look, email or username or password. And if you see our object, we have here email, username, and password. So we here just want to get access to this property, email, username, and password. Okay, so we pass here the name. Okay, what are we gonna render here? We're gonna just render errors of name, for example, errors of email or errors of username or errors of password. And from this name, just get the message, because we have here many things. We have here message, type, and ref. We want to get access to this message to show it here. And let's press save. Now let's press submit. Oops, we didn't have anything here yet, and I know why. Because we didn't pass the errors here. We render this component for form input component, but we didn't pass this property here. So we need to add this property, and let's pass the errors from React hook form inside it and press save. And let's repeat the same step here in email. Errors equals to errors that we get from React hook form, and here too, errors equals to errors. Now we can here show our errors. Username is required. If we add something, it say username must be at least 3 characters. So it should be more than 3 characters. If we press submit, we didn't get anything because we've blocked. You can change the rules. So you can make this 3, for example, 5. And make this 5. For example, if you press save, you're gonna notice here username must be at least 5 characters. So you have to increase it more than 5. Email, you can add here anything, but look, it says please enter a valid email. So you have to add a valid email. And password is required. If we just type something, it say it must be at least 8 characters. So you have to increase it. Now, if you press submit, great. You're not blocked anymore. You can log the username, the email, the password, because no validation errors. You filled anything correctly. So now let's format our code here. And it's better to put this form schema inside a single folder. For example, let's create a folder here and inside src. Where should we put it? For example, we can put it inside constant. Inside constant, let's add a folder called schemas. Inside this folder, let's create a file, whatever you want. For example, let's make this register or user schemas. User or auth schemas. You have to take care of your name. .ts. And just copy this and paste it here. When you paste it here, you just need to import YAP library. So just copy this line of code and paste it here. And you need to export it like that. Export const schema. Now press save and go here. Delete this code. You don't need it anymore. And also delete that. And just import form schema. Import form schema from src constants schemas auth schemas and press save. It should work as expected. So look here, it works as expected. The errors appear, but this is a better code because you put anything inside separated folder. Let's format it. I just format it. If you want to format it, just highlight it and press Command KF or Control Command and F to format it like that. And here also app.tsx. Now you've learned in this lesson how to create a validation to your text input. I hope you understand this lesson. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments and see you in next lesson. And don't forget the source code is provided. Thanks for watching and see you.